Hello, everyone. Greetings. This is Interstellar Radio. Today's date is February 23rd, 2019. We have Gina on, and we'd like to talk about the president at this time. Hello, Gina. Greetings.
Greetings. Hello. Yep, that's a good start, I think. I think that is an important topic right now with what's going on. And the messages that I received are very clear, and I'm being asked to bring them to you tonight to share with the audience.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, go right ahead. What you're receiving. Looking forward to it.
So, very good. Just as a reminder to those that are listening, I am channeling. So, pardon my language if I have a difficult time finding the right words.
Yeah, exactly.
But right off the bat, I must say this before we have any other interruptions, is that they're bringing me back to 1957 when Val Thor came to visit the Pentagon. And if others don't know what that means, definitely we had a visitor in the past that came to speak with our government. They are doing it now again. Well, there is definitely a message coming through, and this message is coming through our First Lady. Our First Lady is very, very powerful beyond what you can understand, in that she is a big part of this movement, and she has the love and support of our brothers and sisters Starseeds, and she has the guidance of higher powers and energies, and she comes in positive light. Our president needs protection. We need to continue to do that. We need to continue to send protection to him as he is taking us on the path that is for all of our higher good. And he is fearless. And I will tell you, this is not about the left wing or the right wing. This is all about the truth. This is not to discuss politics. This is about our race as a human being. And the way to reach the masses is through our president, with the guidance of our First Lady, who is receiving tremendous help, and beautiful light is with her. I'm very grateful for this information that was shared. But they wanted to make sure that I understood that this is why this is happening now, because they are assisting. They are assisting our leaders. So don't have fear. Be strong and understand. Understand that, again, politics is no longer powerful if we can come together with truth. Truth is the key. As you see the perfect example, within 24 hours, the lie was exposed and the truth was revealed, and that person now was taken into custody. You all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. That the lie became the truth very quickly, and this is what is going to happen with all of those that are on the list. There is a list. There is a list. There's a list, and he's taking them one by one. The example was the most recent situation that we just all experienced in 24 hours. So they want to make sure you understand that this is not political. This is about love and truth and unity as a species. And we are going to win this battle because we are protected, and they are here. They are here now. Thank you.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
that is very important information. They were using the most recent scandal as an example of how quickly they're going to be turning things from negative to positive. It's lies to truth. And I just wanted to reiterate this right now because that is important. And more people are seeing the truth, and that is really encouraging. So that was the message that came to me today, and I wanted to make sure that we share that with your audience.
Yeah, it's great.
That's it.
Yeah, it's great. Because there's so many that are going against the president right now, and they're using, political agendas. There's just no love there. I mean, there is some, but most of it is.
Well, the numbers are smaller. Those numbers are smaller than what you would expect, but they still exist. I will tell you that once we understand as a human race to not divide each other, that we are more powerful when we come together. And those that are opposing unity and peace will soon fall to the wayside. Honestly, that is part of the process. And it is going to be happening more and more each day. And the news outlets, the news outlets that are feeding those lies, their days are numbered.
Yeah, good.
Their days are numbered. Be patient. Be kind and trust. And sometimes it's important to realize not everybody is going to agree with your thoughts, but you must stay true to who you are and trust. So that's my political speech for the day.
Well, yeah, I use it as a subject all the time because it shows where all the manipulation is, how it works. It's just so in our face. It's like this.
It is in our face.
It's like a perfect school for it. If you want to know where the manipulation is, just look there. So it's like,
right.
I mean, if you disagree with something, that's fine, but it's so much hate that's around it and sabotage and darkness.
But we can't sit here and convince people of it. You see, you must live your truth.
Exactly.
And it's okay. It's okay if somebody doesn't. And we all are awakening on different timelines. So being with love and empathy and not engaging in these fights that the promotion is, the news is promoting, that's not real.
Yeah. I agree.
Real communication with each other is not what is being shown on the fake networks. What is really happening is happening in your own community, with your own family and friends, your neighbors and strangers. That's the truth of what is happening in our evolution. Don't be confused and don't be divided by the lies that are being spewed on the tube.
Yes, definitely. It's just, just be true to yourself, basically. And the more truth you want, I guess a lot of people don't understand the truth when they do hear it, because maybe it's a little bit more than they can handle.
Right.
Like,
and that's by design, okay?
Yeah.
And we have to be respectful of that.
Yeah, because there's different types of truth. There's your conspiracy truths, like 9/11 type of stuff, and then you go into your spiritual truth.
Correct.
Into the aliens and angels, and that can be very overwhelming at first, I guess.
Absolutely. It's absolutely overwhelming for some people, and that's why it's not time for them to participate, if you will, in this awakening at this time.
Yeah, because
it's okay.
I mean, technically, I mean, I don't want to use the word war, but it's technically we're in war, you can say. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
war. I mean, technically it is, you know.
Right. But remember, the divide is being manufactured.
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
not real.
Yeah, I just got a message. Yeah, divided in the universities, the way people think. You know, you can say the university is programming people. Oh, you are the elites. You're here, and you're only a select few. You know, like Harvard and stuff like that.
That's right.
And so you can do whatever you want, and you control people, and which they pretty much
That's where
do.
it began.
Yeah.
That's where it began.
That's where.
In those institutions, which is run by the deep state.
Yep.
But I want to get away from that right now and
Okay.
focus on what we can do positively, because as you and I both know, they didn't want this message out today.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, technical issues. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So you want to go into
Without saying.
your other, and so you mentioned about Thor. What was his first name? Or is that his first name?
Valiant Thor.
Yeah, he's from Venus. From Venus.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
That's what
I
they
believe
say.
it.
And
I
he
can
came
feel it.
back in 1957. Absolutely, they have pictures. They have pictures of a being that they were not able to really identify. So it's worth investigating on your own. After the show, Google it, look at it, see what we're talking about if you don't already know. I personally have had a visitor in my lifetime, for sure, that came in the form of a human being. But very soon after meeting this person, I realized we were dealing with something different. And that's a story I could share with you.
Yeah,
that would be my
please.
personal experience.
Please do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'll spare you the backstory because really at this point, in order to tell this story effectively, I'm going to fast forward to one particular meeting, which my communication with this person was not in person. It was through a text and email for a period of time. And out of the blue, and by the way, I really didn't know much about this person. There was no background information. It was very vague, and it was I just never thought this person was ever going to appear back in my life again. Well, lo and behold, I get this phone call that said that they were an hour away from me, traveling from the other coast of Florida, and this person wanted to meet with me. And I was very hesitant. I had about an hour to think about it before they arrived. So, I was so curious. So I did. I did the safest thing I could do and meet in a public place over coffee and what have you. So I did do that. And everything seemed to be okay, but I could just feel this awkwardness and light about this person that I didn't feel I was in danger. By no means. It wasn't really the feeling I was getting. I just felt that it was an off-world experience. There's really no word to describe it in our language, what I felt about this person, but I was very drawn to continue this meeting. So we proceeded to a different spot, which would be my comfort zone, which is on the water by the ocean, and sat outside in public when a bunch of people were around. Again, just because I wanted to make sure I was safe. And this person was still having difficulties. It was almost as if being human was not normal for that person, if that makes sense, meaning the tasks were not what you would expect, but also the mannerisms were actually outdated, like really outdated, like 1950s outdated. The mannerisms of and I'm not complaining, but it was odd. And out of the blue, in just as we were just talking really generically, out of the blue, the question was asked to me is, so do you know what's on the backside of the moon? And I said, no. And then he looked up to his right, and then he looked back at me and he said that the council says you're not ready.
Mm.
And now I'm freaking out. This is a few years ago, by the way. This is not recent. It's about 3-4 years ago. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but other than I am really frightened about this.
Awkward. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, they just said you're not ready yet. And I said, okay. Please, can you please help me understand what you're talking about? Just give me some information. He goes, you will know when it's time. I said, okay, and back to generic conversation, because now the only thing that I really want to do is go back to my car, which is at the coffee shop. Mm-hmm. So going back to my car, we're driving in the car, and all of a sudden, I'm just really kind of, again, I don't feel like he's going to hurt me, because I would not have gotten in the car after a few hours of conversation. And I'm in my own town, and I'm very comfortable. He's actually an out-of-towner, and boy, is he out of town. We're driving down the road, and all of a sudden, I didn't even know that there would be a transformer. I don't even think it was a transformer, but it seemed like a transformer explosion outside of our window on the side of the road, and all the lights went black. The traffic light that we were approaching, and I had like this electric shock in my hands, and he just looked at me, and I said, like, oh my God, and he didn't say anything, and continued to, with no lights on the street, and the traffic light was out, so that was kind of a disaster. Got me back to my car, and that was it. So that was like the weirdest experience of my life that I could remember. That doesn't mean I hadn't had any other experiences, I just don't remember them. Now, the next morning I wake up and I'm having very serious vertigo. So severe that I had to call a friend to come and get me because I couldn't even sit up. And vertigo is a very severe case of spinning, but it's not not just being dizzy. It's an off balance kind of a thing. So after she was able to come and help me sit up in the bed and ground me, because that was most important. I had to get back to grounding myself. And so we did a few things to help me do that. Also took me to get some acupuncture because I needed to get my energy back, or rebooted, if you will, for lack of better words. And it took about 3 sessions of acupuncture to make it go away. So over the course of 3 days, I did that. During that 3 days, this person tried to contact me via my text message. And obviously I was petrified and not knowing what I was dealing with at that time. And I was refusing to do so. Oh, I left out a very strange, important part. This person told me he came from a certain part of Florida, which is the west coast of Florida, and he used the terms he stays with a family over there. And that area I shared with you before, and you had mentioned something about that particular area being one that would draw alien-type energies. Then the person told me his job, because we were talking about his work, and his work was he was leaving to go on a fishing trip because he fishes on the big boats off of the coast of Alaska.
Yeah.
Very strange. So getting back to this phone call, 3 days in a row, I just would not engage, and I just really wanted to feel better and move past this. But there is no record of this person now. I can't see, no phone number, no ID, the name. I can tell you I was having a very hard time. I had a friend try to help me because I really wanted to know what the heck happened. Who is this person and what kind of an experience do they have? Mm-hmm. So, lo and behold, I just want to share that I believe through the information I received later from my connections, that this was a visitor, that came here. And basically what happened was I did get an upgrade, which is what caused this vertigo. And things have been different and shifted for me since that experience, very heightened, and my connections are much broader, if you will. And so, I'm going to say that I have much gratitude for this stranger, because to me, I thought I knew who this person was, but lo and behold, they are from out of this world. Mm-hmm. And and I'm bringing this up because they are here, they are aiding us. Sometimes we don't understand what it is that we're doing or dealing with, but know that that they are here to help us. And my gut, my instincts kept me in his presence. If I felt any discomfort or fear, which I did at the end after my vertigo, that did create some fear for me because I didn't understand it, then I was walking away. But if you feel that you don't feel threatened, then take this as an opportunity to understand that you are being visited, and this is a blessing, and you are being guided on your path through this ascension. So that's
nice.
My story with my visitor.
Thank you for sharing that. Did you want to mention that city that's in Florida?
Crystal River, Florida.
I don't know if that's going to give some people some shivers. It's like that.
Yeah.
Some people I know that do live in this Florida is like, oh, that makes sense.
But what was so unusual about what he said, because I asked him where his family is living, he said, well, the family I stay with is in Crystal River. So I wasn't even getting a parent name or siblings or nothing, like there was no backstory. And then he vanished. And his story went from who goes from Crystal River to offshore fishing off of in Alaska. We all know what's happening offshore in Alaska.
Yeah.
So I found it very strange, and his behavior strange. But yes, the city is Crystal River, and that was there was a reason why I needed to bring this up, and that is because of the information that came to me after, which, I wanted to wait and see why was I circling back to this story. And their reason is that they wanted to make sure that people understand that they are here and they are helping our humanity through reaching through our leaders that we have. And this is how it works. But people's minds would be blown. They would be blown by who else is around helping us. But anyway, that would be my story for my visitor who came in human form.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I don't think we hear about stories like that very often. I hear about them on the web.
Well, I never had one like that. I am an experiencer. I have been visited before, and the energies that came to see me, one in particular being a golden triangle, at a very young age, and I am being, they watch you. That's why they're here. It's a bloodline that they follow. I'm sure we've all heard about that, and that's not a question as to why certain people have those visits. But when you're having them at a young age, it's very frightening. This is the first time a visitor came in human form, so they do come in with love and light. The ones that I do connect with, and I'm very grateful for that. And they are helping me and protecting, because this is not an easy thing to do, and it is frightening sometimes. And I don't know if people are aware that the folks that do channeling, the clairvoyance, the government does use us, people like us, to help with the remote viewing in this form. So it has been going on for decades. That's not my thing. I don't have that kind of information. Mine is always of love and light and sharing hope with people, and helping them understand that it's real.
Yeah, after that, how long did it take you to realize that that guy was from somewhere else?
When the explosion happened, that was my confirmation.
Oh, wow.
Because there was not a transformer there.
Wow.
But a signs blew, signs blew, and the traffic sign. So I still live in the same community. So when I drive by, every time I see the new, because I had to put a new sign, one of those ones that light up. It took a long time for them to replace the sign that blew up, a long time. And every time I drive by it, I just think of that. That was the moment that I realized. And you just have to be calm, even though it can be frightening. You don't want to freak out or let that overcome you, because then we invite negative into our energy. So just have to stay positive during that process.
So when you're after that, it's of course you're going through that shock after that blew up, so you just weren't sure what to do. What do you say to somebody like that?
You just stay as calm as you can and understand that it's going to pass. It's this is an experience, and you're being shown something. There is something that you need to take away from this. But I was getting an upgrade. That's all I can understand from this. And the vertigo was horrible. Yeah. And it's a side effect. And, a lot of other things physically have changed within my body. And I have no explanation for those things. But I just, I'm not going to fight. There's nothing I could do. Just be understanding that you're okay, and it's part of the ascension. We all made a contract agreement upon coming back to Earth at this time, because there's a lot going on. We are going to be experiencing things that are unprecedented. Back in history, we are this is reliving it over again. We're all having these same experiences happen to us again. So just be ready, be open, and follow your gut with these things. That's what I would say to anyone if they go through an experience having a visitor.
Well, with you bringing this up, so that does say that they're making their move, but a slow move. To help us.
Well,
understand.
I found they are making their move. You are correct. One of the things that really is encouraging to me is that they shared the information that I shared at the opening was so clear and so in the present now, that it's happening now, that they are working with President Trump, our First Lady, and all of those that are really looking at what, one by one, the lies will be revealed. You saw it. You saw it already this week.
Well,
and swiftly.
yes, of course, yeah. I didn't watch. I mean, I don't know the full detail, but yeah, so with that guy, it was a hoax, and he beat himself or have somebody beat him up, whatever it was. But yeah, that's good that the truth came out, though.
But that was an example to show you how quickly they're doing it.
That's good. So,
okay, and people do see the lies and are aware. That's the good news.
And this information that you're getting, you think it's coming from that being? I mean, that one that you had? No. You don't think so?
No, I feel that information is coming from the visitors that have been here before. Valthor group, that's where that information is coming from. Why I had this visitor come visit me was only my personal upgrade. It only had to do with me.
Interesting.
Meaning, but the information that I received came from regarding a president was coming from the same group that was here before. Valthor's group. There was a woman too that I don't remember the information. There's a tall blonde.
Oh,
so that's it.
Who is the woman? Who is that? Where does that come from?
So at the same time that Valthor was here, she was here too.
Oh, okay. That one I'm not sure. I didn't know about that one. I didn't know about Valthor.
Right.
I don't think I remember hearing about that.
Well, they were questioning. Well, they didn't know what to say back then. There wasn't much that they could say. And, our history books have zero information on this. So, you don't get the full story. But what I can say is it was a group that was coming. I know they call them the Venusians. He said he was from Venus. But they work with the Pleiadians. It's like the same council.
Well, that being that came to you that did activation, I keep getting the energy of Alpha Centauri as we're talking.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
You can see what you get from that.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to ask you. I want to mention this. One day, this is just switching the subject really quick, but my tattoo image was just shown to me. I have a tattoo, so I have to tell you, the image came to me in a vision. So I drew it out, had my tattoo artist put on this image, and I have to tell you, I was very ignorant to what this symbol was. I just knew I needed it on my body, and I kept saying, this is crazy. It really is crazy that I think about it. But I said, it's so they know where to find me.
Oh, that's funny.
I need you to put this tattoo on me. So I'm like, what? So okay, so you need to put this tattoo on me, and I have it on the back of my neck. It's on the back of my neck, so that they could find me. So then my girlfriend, I sent her a picture of my new tattoo. She said, Gina, why do you have the tattoo of Uranus on your neck?
Oh, wow.
I said, I don't know, because I didn't know. I really honestly did not know. It was just the image that came to my eye.
Oh, interesting.
And so, and I have a tattoo of the planet Uranus on my back of my neck.
Yeah, that's a grounding energy for you. So you're definitely...
Isn't that crazy?
You are bringing information from Uranus, definitely. Uranus is kind of like a mystery planet. It's, I guess you can say all the planets are a little bit... They have mystery energies around them. But definitely... That's funny, though. That says a lot about tattoos, though, when you think about it. It's like, it's it's like telling you about yourself,
It's your history being written.
Who you are.
Yes, right.
And it can be alien, can be fairy, can be angel. Some people use like characters from Star Wars. It tells your alien side. So just
That you're connecting with.
it's just we're just figuring out the puzzle. We're putting the pieces together, you can say. But
That's
really,
right.
that's really neat.
What is Sanskrit? Sanskrit is like a specific writing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just heard Sanskrit. So it's like Sanskrit. So you, so maybe there's going to be other images. I already have another image already picked out. And I saw this symbol and I said, I must have this on my body.
Oh,
And I found out it is a third eye symbol. It's a symbol for a third eye. It's not the actual third eye that you would think.
yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll show you what the symbol is, and that's my next tattoo. But
Funny.
I just feel really drawn to having to put this on my body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. It's just, well, it shows self-love. It shows a lot of, it has a lot of meaning to it. So that's
Yes.
really, yeah.
So if you have a thought in your mind about a tattoo, or you just really feel so happy when you think about a symbol, own it. Own that symbol. It's part of you.
Yeah, it's
part of your history.
It's also a release. Like if you have karma, like if you have a being, or a skeleton being. Some people have skeleton beings. Like, you have karma with that being, or you're trying to heal that situation, whatever it might be. So, yeah.
And how do we heal? How do we heal from things? We heal by, first of all, acknowledging that it's there.
Exactly. Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah, that's makes perfect sense. There's a lot of people with a lot of tattoos. So.
And I bet you they didn't know what inspired them, and maybe it was, they were giving credit to the wrong source. It's really you. You are the one. You are the one that is bringing this out of you, so you can acknowledge it and embrace it. Oh yeah, for sure.
I imagine a lot of people are the same way. Like, some people get to a certain age, they just feel like they have to have a tattoo. It's like, I made it to this age, and something like that. Showing progress.
That's right. Past life experience.
Yeah, that too. Like, some souls here that incarnate on this planet only live to a certain age, and then they pass that age. It's like, oh, I gotta give myself a medal or something like that. There's that too.
That's right. And we carry scars from past lives. I have one. I have this scar on the middle of my forehead. I'm going to tell you this story if you want to hear it.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody knows. My parents don't know how I got this circle scar in the middle of my forehead. And nobody knows where it came from. And it developed after I was an infant. And I didn't have an injury. There's no cut. There's no stitches. There's no nothing. It's just this circle in the middle of my forehead. So I went to my spiritual counselor, and we were talking about past lives. And it came up that I had been a healer. As I am in this lifetime, and in every lifetime, I work in the healing arts. And at this particular time, I was a healer that was in Lemuria, from Lemuria. And so I really didn't know much about Lemuria. Like, I really didn't know all of the story. I just know that a lot of the Atlanteans went over to Lemuria, and then they crossbred over there. But there were people that lived at that time in Lemuria that literally had a third eye. So, that third eye was in the middle of their forehead. And she said, and that's where you got your scar.
That was interesting. I mean, an actual eye, or just energy, or energy?
The actual,
energy?
No. She said it was like an actual eye. That was the way she expressed it. So if it was an energy, I don't know. But she said that's where you, and I didn't even say anything about my scar. And she said, and that's why you have the scar in the middle of your forehead.
Oh, neat.
I said, oh my God. That's another extension of my essence.
Wow, yeah. I imagine a lot of the Lemurians were healing the Atlanteans quite a bit, because they're all kind of out of their minds at one point at least.
That I was doing this my whole life in this lifetime in the healing arts, and that was like and you know what it was? It wasn't medical. It was I was never drawn to the medical industry. It was I couldn't figure out where I needed to be until I became an adult, and the way I found my way through this process was pretty remarkable. It was painstaking, of course, and it wasn't until really later in life that I discovered it again. And another story about the past lives, which is really important too. I don't know why I want to talk about this, but I think people need to really maybe tap into this as part of their healing and ascension. I used to tell a story since I was a very little girl about my great-grandmother, who people would bring their sick family and children to her in Italy, and she would put her hands on people, and they would get better. She would heal them. And I kept telling this story my whole life to people, and I really felt it. Like I saw it, I saw her, I saw the people. And one day I said, do you have a picture of my great grandma Olympia? So she gave me the picture of her, and I never had seen her before this time. My mother hands me this photograph of my great grandmother, and I about passed out. Her face is my face.
Yeah.
And I said, no way. Do you see? I look just like her. She says, oh, yeah, you sure do. And I says, yeah, isn't she the one where people would bring their sick family and friends to her in Italy so she would put her hands on them and heal? She goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So now I was like, what the heck? Where did I get that story from? So I went into meditation, maybe a couple of years ago, and that story came back up, and I forgot about it. And the story came back up, and they said, that's you. I was seeing, so young children remember their past lives, and then we soon forget about them. But because I kept telling the same story over and over again, it became a part of my being, of who I am. I was telling a story of myself and one of my past lives.
Oh, wow. Interesting. That's interesting. Huh. Fascinating. Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, there's one story of, I don't know, a psychic reader. I forget what exactly the story was. She had a scar or a birthmark or something on her leg. And she did a past life regression. I think she was stabbed or something in that area. I don't remember where it was. But where the birthmark was, maybe it was in her stomach. But when she was an American Indian. She got stabbed in that area. And then when she thought about it, that scar, whatever it was, disappeared, she said, when she connected to it. So,
because cell memory, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so
that's how we heal past trauma.
Yeah.
So people suffer from traumas and illness, and whether it be a psychological trauma or physical trauma, and it can be very confusing. But past life regression is very healing and helpful in that, just as you just explained with this Indian woman. And so I think it's fascinating because our bodies tell a story. Our intuition guides us in this lifetime. And we have so much power within ourselves to do so many things. And once we start to learn how to tap into that and embrace that, what a wonderful thing it can be to start healing ourselves through all of these different trials that we may have been experiencing, pains that were no longer there because we revealed it, faced it, acknowledged it. Fears gone away because you sought out the root cause. And it's not something you've ever done. You didn't cause any of this. lifetime after lifetime. Energy does not die.
Mm-hmm.
That is very healing.
Yeah, definitely. We're connecting to our soul family through energy, into our spirit family, through
That's right.
our abilities. And
oh yes.
a lot of people are scared of their abilities, or we're taught none of it exists. But yet movies tell us, they talk about it all the time through magic beings in the movies and TV.
Yes.
So they don't want.
Well, there's a little, they hide it in plain sight. Isn't that
exactly.
the saying?
Very much. Yeah.
We are such powerful beings, and we are more than what this form is revealed
Mm-hmm.
to us, and the limitations that we have been given and told and tormented with. So everybody is just, free, can be free from these restrictions. And hopefully some of these stories will spark an interest in themselves, to dig deeper within themselves and understand truly who they are. I just hope that will be encouraging to someone out there.
Yeah, there's when you were talking about the government, there's a feline being I've been having kind of difficulties with, or the other channel. I'm not going to go into that detail, but I felt that feline being really frustrated. It's like I got like an image of the feline like on ship, like not happy at all. Because it's like,
well, that's because they only have 9 lives.
Yeah, definitely. But they're also kind of doing the same thing, putting this facade on, oh, we're your friend. It's like, I'm not sure about that. It's like, here's what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, they're limited. They're limited in this process. So long as they hold themselves in that energy, they're going to continue to burn all 9 lives.
I never really thought about the 9 lives thing. What is your connection with the 9 lives? What is your definition of that?
It's just what I heard.
Oh,
that
really?
means that they're going to have 9 cycles to make it right.
That makes sense. That just came through? Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
You have 9 that makes a lot of sense.
I can't explain it. It just happens this way.
That was funny.
So don't even, you don't want to connect to that.
No.
That energy.
No, not at all. No, but I was thinking about it earlier. It's like, I obviously don't want to go to war or something like that. But I was thinking about the same thing. It's like, it'd be nice if the truth would come out, and just not make it my problem, obviously, but let the universe do its thing.
Right, because it's not yours to do, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And the spirit world knows what they're doing. Yeah.
That's right. And as empaths, you want to help people. You want to show them the way. And it's so hard. It's so hard, but we also have to understand the importance of the lesson. Yeah. It's not our lesson. We're busy dealing with our own lessons and trying to translate that and grow from that. So, being an empath, it's very difficult not to go over to somebody and shake them and say, wake the hell up, man. But you can't do it. You can't do it.
Yeah, like walking around the sign.
You want to.
Aliens are real, and just make people feel scared. It won't make people feel better. I mean, some people might get a laugh out of it and understand it, but it'll make a lot of people feel uncomfortable if you force it on people.
You can't do that, right? Because it's not in their time. Yeah. One of my favorite mantras that I will share with you, and I just love this because it's simple and it makes sense, but your vibe attracts your tribe. So while you're busy trying to save the world, understand that's not your job. Your job is to be an example and a beacon of light, and that beacon of light will attract the same likeness. And that tribe will continue to grow and continue to grow, and we are going to be operating at a higher vibration as one within a short period of time. Time is actually a limitation of the mind, by the way. So let's remove time from the equation and understand that everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. And that's not easy for some people to, because you always want something different, or not always, but, it does exist.
Well, we are still human, and we have ego that we have that makes us human. And so that in itself is a challenge for each and every one of us. I am a Virgo, born at the sign of a Virgo in this lifetime.
I see.
And
Me too. Yeah.
And my weakness, I have to say, is patience. So this is my lesson, is, Virgos are the most impatient. Love you, Virgos. We are great. It was a beautiful sign. I love it, but we struggle with patience. And so this is my struggle. And so with that is I keep practicing mindfulness and the power of now to help me, and I've improved over the years. This is a lifelong, experience, It's not going to happen overnight. I'm forever going to be living this resistance, for that's the best way I could describe it, resistance to give into the ego's need
Well,
for having it now, or you need it now.
Well, like with alien contact, people just feel things would be better. They feel that energy of higher dimensional energies, and they just want to. It makes sense. So of course you're going to be, impatient in that regard. So, but it's part of the test, part of the lessons here. Part of
that's it.
Patience.
And you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to get it right always, and that's part of being the human being that you are at this time.
Yeah. Well, like you talk about politics a bit. I feel like Trump is going to win the next election. I think it's already in the bag from what I can feel, but you never know. But I think it is. Not that it matters.
Well, the energy that surrounds that is going more towards yes, because it is. I feel I am not a politician. I don't. My disclaimer. My disclaimer is I don't get involved in it, and I'm not a left or a right. Yeah. But I will tell you what I care about. What I care about is that the truth, and I feel very strongly that is what the mission is now. It's all about truth and revealing. There's going to be a lot of revealing, unveiling going on. And it has already started. Some things we don't even see that are happening. They don't show you on the mainstream. And if you connect to alternative news and variety of different channels and groups, do it. Do it. Participate in all of them. You'll know what's right for you and what you believe and what you want to believe in. And just as long as you stay honest and knowing that we all are seeking what is in our highest and greatest good. And this is what I'm getting from our current administration. And I never selected one or the other. I can tell you that there could have been some really bad things that happened if he had not taken over at that time. There were some things that he stopped by being present. And he is absolutely brave. He does come across a little bit different to some people. That's fine.
Nobody's perfect.
But he is definitely standing tall, and confident. And, listen, I feel comfortable with what he's doing, and let's not forget First Lady has a lot of influence in the positive flow of what's going on here. You may not realize that, but it is her connections.
Yeah, makes sense.
She felt the darkness in the White House. She did not want to walk into that White House. She did not want to walk into that White House until it was cleansed, spiritually cleansed. I want you to understand that is a story that was told. I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I believe that to be true.
I believe it, yeah. Yeah.
She said that she was not spending one night in that White House until they came in and cleansed it, saged it, whatever they did. I don't know, but that was her request.
Yeah, I can quite understand, because they're doing everything they can to demonize him, so he must be doing something right. But it shows that
exactly.
He's bringing out darkness. He's showing people where the darkness is, basically.
He's holding the mirror up.
Exactly. Yeah. And
that's why, of course.
Yeah, like the news.
If he wasn't a threat, they wouldn't care.
Exactly. But they're just losing their minds. I mean, he can just say just one word and everybody flips out on it. They blame him for everything.
And then he'll just turn around and hold up that mirror, just keep on holding it up.
Yeah.
And revealing the truth. And anybody, whether it be him, you, me, that's what we stand for. We are human beings.
Yeah,
we are human beings.
Yeah.
And we have to share our time and our space right now on this planet. It's very simple. It doesn't need to be complicated.
Yeah, you can't.
It's not about sides.
Yeah, I mean, healing this right away, because we're pretty much in the thick of manipulation, you can say, worldwide. That's something to heal overnight.
But he's ready to reveal secrets that we need to know, that have been kept from us for decades. She's going to do it.
They got like the next, after the next election? Or maybe before?
I don't think so. I think before, sure. I think now, right now. It's all happening right now.
You mean like the alien stuff?
There's that and other things. Other things. Yeah. I think that you're going to know a different... Remember, I did a reading with you on the radio, I believe it was, about when you read the book, you want to know the truth, turn it up, turn it over and upside down, and then you're going to read the real story. That's what is happening as we speak. Now, in the now. Embrace it.
Well, like with the wall that they're building, I mean, there's a lot of, psychic leaking. There's a lot of alien, like in Mexico, there's a lot of, I don't mention this, bro. I guess they block. There's a lot of stuff that goes on alien-wise in Mexico.
Yes.
That doesn't.
Yes, of course.
Vibrations and stuff that's not mentioned, or even, I think they remove those thoughts from my mind to even talk about it sometimes. So, but yeah, like black projects and all of that, and who knows what else. So,
I mentioned to someone that was born back in the 40s time frame, and that would mean that they would have been exposed and or around the time of the Roswell crash. And I asked, and I said, I believe I said, oh, have you watched this Project Blue Book? They go, what is Project Blue Book? This is somebody that is in their 70s. I said, do you know about, the stuff with Roswell? They go, what's Roswell? My point in bringing this up right now is that generation that was alive and experiencing it at that time, how in the world, without brainwashing, would these people not even know what Roswell is? Area 51. I haven't said Area 51. They're like, no. What? Project Blue Book, what? So there was a lot of manipulation back in those days going on.
Definitely.
Okay? But the secret was not as, as far as the sightings back in the days, they were not as covered up as they are right now. You know, channels being shut down, people being shut up, things like that. You know, so anyway, I just found that really interesting and proof of the brainwashing that has been going on for generations and generations. How did these people that grew up at that time not know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah, they use, materialism and television. Television, people just, at night would just be sitting in front of the TV.
Well, they depend on that. This is what this is. That's right. Yeah. They depend on them. This part of hypnotizing them, brainwashing them, all that stuff, mind control, and the different other generations caught on to it and was like, screw you,
Yeah, like during the 70s.
And they choose.
Yeah.
Well, I think even more now, even your millennials, they're just like, screw that. You're not going to do that to me.
Well, they have that.
I love to see that.
They're still kind of shut down, but they don't do any of that. But
right, but I think that there's a little bit more openness and awakening happening in that generation, and and the 70s, even the 80s, that's when they were like, hey, wait a minute. What?
Well, I feel that the hippie movement was like, screw the politicians. It was, of course, that was manipulated, but it was still a lot freer than it was before. So.
Well, it was perceived that way. Anyway, at least.
Yeah, there was a lot of manipulation going on there too, but that never seems to end. So.
But listen, we just have to, maintain that trust ourselves. I say it over and over and over again. And just because another person has a different opinion about it, that doesn't mean that they're wrong. They're right for what their level of consciousness can handle at this time. If that makes sense. People understand at their level of consciousness. Be understanding of that. And that would make it a little bit easier to deal with. I know it's not easy.
Yeah. Definitely. So, all right. You want to? I guess we can wrap it up. That was good for the. You call that a contactee, right? You're a. How would you?
Contactee.
Yeah. You're an alien contactee.
Yeah, my contactee, my human form. It came in human form because I've had other contacts. This is the first time human form contactee. Yeah. So, but anyway, I hope that my stories and the messages that come through are of help and service to all of you.
Yeah, I believe so. Just it gives people hope that we're going in the right direction.
Well, good. So I'm very grateful. I'm grateful that you give me the platform to share my channeling and messages as they come through. And that's it. I'm really grateful to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being on. I feel like next time we'll have a lot more to dive into. Feels like
absolutely
the upcoming month is going to be unusual from what I'm gathering right now. So
we never know. I mean, we did have 5 tries to get this show started today. They were 5 attempts.
Yep.
That was real. So obviously the heat is on.
All right, thank you for coming on.
Right on.
All right.
Of course. Thank you so much. Many blessings to you all. Have a good night.
Yeah, good night, everyone. And see you next time. Much love.